Hey, Smart Mamas. Welcome to the Scrub Caps and Sippy Cups podcast, a podcast about balancing mom life and work life and everything in between.
Being a mama is a hard job.
We are three nurse anesthetists reaching out to support and encourage other moms with hectic and chaotic lives.
I want to be a nurse anesthetist.
No topics are off limits.
Relationships, finance, mental health, work.
And we aren't sugarcoating anything.
No way, old way.
This is real life, real moms, real advice. And we want this to be interactive. We want to hear from you, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Hey, Smart Mamas. Welcome back to another episode of Scrub Caps and Sippy Cups. Crystal and I are here tonight hanging out and just going to catch up on what's going on with her. All of a sudden, like, seriously, my froggy voice just came on like an hour ago. Like, it's just out of nowhere. I was like, fine this morning. And all of a sudden I've got this like little frog hanging out with me. So excuse my voice.
I can like tell I have one too. So it's okay.
I'm going to let Crystal do all the talking because she has so much to tell us. We haven't heard from her in a while. She's been through a lot lately. And so let's catch up on Crystal. Crystal, tell us how you're doing.
Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it? Let's see. When was the last update? I think, we took a month off because I was on radiation, and the radiation gave me, it was after the very first treatment, like the worst sore throat.
Really?
Like the worst sore throat, where I was like, do I have strep throat? Really painful. And they kind of turn your head away when they radiate you, but they still kind of get that area. And I guess it's not uncommon. So, it felt like I had like a lump in my throat for probably the whole time.
Oh, man. And that was how long?
That was 28 treatments.
Okay. And that was every day for a month.
Yeah, basically Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So it was nice to have the weekends off.
Like the weekends off of like cancer treatment, like it's not really like
I know, right?
A weekend off.
Right. It was just nice to not have to like go there every day.
Oh yeah. You just said that so nonchalantly, like, well, I had the weekends off. And it's like, well, like you should have the weekends off of cancer treatment, but that's not always how it goes.
Yeah. So I did that, and radiation kind of sucked. I really wasn't expecting to feel as bad as I did. Chemo, it kind of comes with you're going to feel like, and I had accepted that. But radiation, I felt pretty bad. Extreme fatigue. They would get me out of work on time every day. They would move mountains to get me out of work on time to go to my appointment. So, I'm very thankful for that. But sometimes I would get there, maybe 10 minutes early, and I would like just take a nap in the car and set my alarm. And one time I woke up and my alarm was going off for like 8 minutes. This close to my head, like in my car. I was asleep. And I'm one of those people that normally needs like perfect white noise, the most comfortable bed, the best pillow, like Princess and the Pea is normally not with this fatigue. I could sleep anywhere. And sometimes I'd be so tired driving, I would just pull over and have to close my eyes because I literally fall asleep driving. So that was pretty crazy. And then during that, so I got a pretty bad radiation burn to where it was like opening my skin. And, after a mastectomy, you don't really have there's no breast tissue or fat there. It's just kind of like your skin and then the expander wrapped in alloderm.
Yep. So
one day we were just doing dressing changes and watching it. And one day we go in and when was that? Oh no. So it like radiation 24, I went to see my oncologist and I did not like the way it looked. It's like, I think I want to stop radiation because I'm really worried about this. And I don't want to like lose this implant, and have to do this reconstruction all over again. And he's like, well, research shows that 25 is like the magic number of radiation treatments. Why he chose 28, I don't know, but like 25 is the magic number. And I was like, okay, I'll do 25 and then I'm going to stop because I really don't like how this looks. And then I saw him after 25 and he's like, I have zero concern that this is going to open up or cause any problems. I think you should finish your treatment. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm not a quitter. I'll do it,
Yeah. You had 3 left at that point? So 3 treatments. And how long was each treatment?
From like walking in to walking out, it was probably an hour.
And how long was like the actual like radiation part of it?
That was probably 25 minutes.
Okay. I feel like and maybe this is just like my experience, but I feel like you hear a lot about chemo, but you don't hear as much about like radiation and what that like looks like in that experience. Yeah. And so like, I'm just really curious from that aspect. But okay, so you did all 28 then. He talked you into it.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, they make like a mold. You like sit in this thing that like creates a mold of like your back and your head. And so, because they need you to be in the exact same position every single time. Mm-hmm. And then they mark like on your breast, on your chest, on your sides. So you're always like, and they'll fine tune, like they'll like scoot you a millimeter this way and that way. Sometimes it takes 10, 15 minutes just to get in the exact same position every time.
Oh, okay. Okay. So like the first day you like get in there and you're like, okay, we're here. And then you got to like find that exact spot in space again, 28 more times.
Exactly. And I would try to like wiggle into the right spot, but I mean, it's always like something. And then you can't really move and you're holding your arms over your head. You're holding onto like a handlebar thing. And then they just kind of zap you from different angles until it's over. You have to hold your breath while they zap you, which is like probably 45 seconds. So I got really good at that. I was kind of worried I wouldn't be able to do that. But
I would be worried that I wouldn't be able to do that like over and over and over again. Like,
I know, right? But yeah, so that worked out. And then, okay, so the radiation oncologist, he's like, I think you should do 28. So I did 28. And as you keep getting treatments, like the burn is kind of delayed. So I was already burned from the first few weeks, but up until that last week, you'll continue to burn a week or two later.
Okay.
So about 2 weeks later, my skin opened up, the spot I was worried about. And then we started, and who knows if I would have only done 25, if it still would have opened. I mean, it was still like damaged, but yeah, I knew it wasn't, we weren't going in a good direction. So then I saw the plastic surgeon and we were doing dressing changes and watching it. I would go in like twice a week and he would look at it. And then one day, 2.5 weeks ago, he said, yep, there's a hole. He's like, I can see the alloderm. And like clear as day, it was like the size of a dime and you could see the alloderm underneath. So basically my only option was to have a latissimus dorsi flap sooner than later, because, once you're exposed, you can get, bacterial, colonization or all these other problems. So that was a Wednesday and then I had surgery on Friday. And I really did not want to have that surgery. Like that was a trigger word for me. For some reason, I just did not want that at all. And I was like begging him like any other options. And he's basically like, if we cut this out and we sew back radiated skin that's already burned, it doesn't heal like normal skin. So they had to do it. And I did it and surgery went well. I spent a couple nights in the hospital.
How long did that surgery take?
I think it was about 7 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I know. They go, I do them sometimes at where I work, but not that often. But yeah, they're pretty long.
It's not very common anymore. Isn't it like what they used to do and now they've got more? I don't know. I don't remember all of these are all the things that like you learned at one point in time and you forget.
Right. Well, there's a lot of options. So basically, I think the latissimus dorsi flap is utilized when the skin isn't intact to like, and we should put a picture in the, like in our show notes. Yeah. They take the latissimus dorsi muscle, which is I'm going to show you on the good side, on your back, and they like excise that, but they keep it attached to its blood supply. They then tunnel it through your armpit and lay it across the breast and then sew it on. So it's like still connected to the blood supply in the back.
Yeah.
But now in the front. So I had probably like a 6-inch scar on my back. And this was just 2 weeks ago. So I'm still like very much healing. I just got my last drain out today. I had 6 drains.
Oh my God.
And I moved back. So it kind of feels good to be free from all that.
Yes.
And the flap looks a little like, he said it got beat up during the process. So it's kind of like bruised around the edges, but he's not worried about it. I am worried about it because of everything that's happened. And he's an extremely conservative, like worrywart of a surgeon. So him not being concerned helps me, but I still have some healing to do.
Yeah.
And then they also have options. They have like a deep flap where they take your tummy, like, and then there's a tram flap too, which can't remember. And I think they utilize those if you don't want implants, to make the breast tissue. But I have implants, so I mean, God forbid something else happened, that would be an option to still, have breasts. But so that's where I'm at. I just had 1 year diagnosis anniversary last month. So I've been getting treatment for a year now, which is bananas.
Yes. Now, did you do anything to like mark the day? Did you like do anything with your husband, or did you do anything yourself? Or like, it's not necessarily a day to celebrate, but it's a date of like remembrance or like commemoration that like of all that you have been through.
And last year. Yeah. So it's weird I even remember the day. My daughter's birthday's on.
I don't think that's weird. I think that is like totally normal to know the exact, like, because it's a day that your entire life changed.
Yeah. Well, my daughter's birthday was July 19th, and I was diagnosed 2 days before her birthday. So July 17th. And also on July 17th, several years ago, I had a miscarriage and had a DNC on that day.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So that was kind of just a weird day. But I, like, leading up to it, she had a party planned, and I was just planning her birthday party and just kind of acknowledged it in my mind, but we didn't really do anything. Mm-hmm. We want to plan a vacation and go somewhere and like celebrate once this is all over. But it's been so unpredictable, like to plan. Like my expander swap to implant exchange was supposed to be the end of August. But obviously he did that when he did the latissimus dorsi flap. So I at least got rid of those expanders, which were terrible. Like those were terrible.
What was terrible about them?
They are hard, like hard, and they kind of like stab you. Like if you roll to the side, this one will hit your sternum and it like pokes you. If you roll to this side, it hits your sternum and also like pokes you in your axilla. I mean, just very, very uncomfortable.
Yes.
So it's nice to have soft, regular implants in. My right side, zero pain. I mean, I woke up from surgery. I wouldn't have known he did anything on the right side. I had a drain over there and everything. No pain. This would have been the easiest surgery in the world if it could have just been, a swap out. But it was pretty painful. I had a dilaudid PCA, which was my best friend. But my husband told me that my mastectomy, he said I was hitting it like all the time, the button, and still like writhing in pain. This time he said I would wake up, hit it, and sleep for an hour, and wake up, hit it, and sleep for an hour. So I guess, if you use that to judge, it was a less painful experience. So,
well, I mean, that's, something positive.
Yeah. So, I got through, a lot, and coming out the other side, just hope this heals like it's planned. And then I still have another reconstructive surgery that will be in 5 months. And then I also have the hysterectomy, tubes and ovaries to come out. But I think that'll be like, that's not like an urgent pressing issue. I can just take the anti-estrogens.
Okay. Now, is that total hysterectomy going to be like the end for you? Kind of like the end cap of your like cancer treatment?
No, I mean, I think for the big stuff, yes, but I'll still have to take like a tamoxifen for 5 years because it's not just your ovaries that produce estrogen. You have it in your fat cells. Other areas. So I'll have to take that for 5 years. I haven't started taking that yet because I was supposed to take it after radiation and then this happened.
Yeah.
I just want to feel kind of normal before I start taking it so I can kind of determine what side effects it's giving me. Because there be some pretty bad ones.
Okay.
But some people take it and don't have a problem at all. So
Yeah. Now, we kind of touched on your anniversary and let's do the high, low. We already kind of did the horizon, but what is something that you wish you would have known, kind of maybe a low, something that I didn't anticipate this. I didn't know that this was coming. And what is something that you feel like you have gained from this experience in the last year?
So I feel, and this sounds cheesy, and I know I've said this before, but this really has been a blessing, in disguise, clearly. But it changes your whole life, the whole trajectory of your life, how you see the world, how you appreciate moments and experiences. I am forever changed and very grateful for that. I really am. The lows, I feel like for me, the hardest part for me, I can do the surgeries, I can, do the treatments, whatever. I can do what I need to do, but I hate seeing my family affected. My daughter is, she struggled with it, my husband and my mom. And I hated that. That was definitely the lowest part. And another positive, I wouldn't say I love this because I hate when people get diagnosed with cancer, but I've connected with a lot of people that are newly diagnosed and been able to kind of talk to them and walk them through the beginning and middle. And when they have questions, they can reach out to me. You know what I mean? I feel very satisfied, able to help people navigate their diagnosis because it's a lot at first,
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. And I mean, I don't know. I asked one of our surgeons this because I was within the last year, I personally know 5 or 6 people who've been diagnosed with breast cancer in their 30s. Mm-hmm. And I also, in our CRNA Moms Facebook group, I feel like it happens at least once a month, somebody gets a new breast cancer diagnosis. And so I feel like this was supposed to happen in our 40s, not in our 30s. Not that it's supposed to happen at all, but I feel like you hear about breast cancer in your 40s, not in your 30s. And I feel like it's just one friend was somebody I went to nursing school with was diagnosed. She found out when she was 20 weeks pregnant. So she had to go through chemo while pregnant. And, I just marvel at your strength and her strength and getting through this. But I feel like this is early or young, or maybe it's not, but
I feel like we are getting exposed to it more because, that's the age we are. We know more people that are that age. But statistics, it's 1 in 8 people get diagnosed with breast cancer, 1 in 8. It's insane. It's so now that I'm obviously going through it, I'm hyper aware of, all the mastectomies we do on the schedule and all the, reconstruction and all the phases. And it's just a lot. Just a lot. I really, really am happy to advocate for awareness too and early detection because I found my own. And had I not, you don't even start mammograms till you're 40.
Yep, exactly.
I would have, I had stage 2, it had spread to my lymph nodes. So waiting another year at least till I would have gotten around to schedule the mammogram, could have been stage 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely do self-breast exams. I never did them. I wasn't doing one when I found it. I was just taking a shower. But
so obviously we're friends and we talk outside of this podcast. And so I feel like I'm interviewing you though for this podcast. So I have to say that, but obviously we're friends, but you've been going through all of this and growing your aesthetics business. And I just saw that you were recently featured in, is it a blog or is it a magazine?
Both.
Okay. Because it's entrepreneurship.
It's Entrepreneurs Herald, I think was the magazine / blog. Yeah, someone reached out to me on Instagram, I guess, and asked me if I wanted to do, have my story featured in the July issue. I was like, sure. So that was kind of fun and honored to be recognized,
Yeah. And what was the title? It was 21 entrepreneurs who are it was to watch or something like that.
The top 21 inspiring entrepreneurs to look out for in 2021.
Okay. That's why I was 21. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what was the focus of your like feature there? Was it on, I know it was like on growing your aesthetics business, but what are some of the like favorite things that came out of that article for you? Like what did you talk about in that article and like what kind of things did they want to highlight?
So I basically kind of just told my story. I, started my aesthetics business and basically had just gotten going and then was diagnosed like 3 weeks later. So, I just had like my dream coming true and then this like crushing diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
But building a business, I feel like it's really helped me focus on something other than obviously what's going on.
Yeah.
It's helped me and there's a lot to do with the business other than just physically, injecting and doing all that stuff. So the time off I've had with surgeries, I've been able to, recover, but work on like back office stuff that I wouldn't have had time to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically just talked about, fighting through a cancer diagnosis and coming out on top.
Yeah. And I remember when we first interviewed you, or I should say interview, like we talked about it on our podcast, but when we first talked about your cancer diagnosis, and one of the things that you had said you wanted to do was to like, you're going to keep going with your business. And you had this like determined like optimism that like, you're not going to let this slow you down. You're not going to let it control your life. You're going to continue building your business and you're going to go for it, and I remember thinking at the time, listening to that and being like, if it was me, I feel like I would use this as an excuse to crawl into a hole and like never speak to anyone again and be like, I have cancer, leave me the F alone. And you were like, nope, I'm going to go and do it. And you did it. And you have grown your business. You are well established in your area now. And, you've done it all in the face of like a very difficult path. Like your path to starting a business is not the normal path to starting a business. And yet you've gone and done it. So it's something to be very proud of.
Yeah, thank you. I am really proud of it. It's my baby. It's very rewarding and satisfying seeing this is me. This is what I built. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All of it. And it's just, It's really satisfying. And it's a lot of work to have your own business.
Yep.
It's not like I'm bringing in the dough, I'm building a business. And so everything is going back into the business. But I love it. And it's so much fun. And it's kept me focused. It really has.
Mm-hmm.
It's kept me focused, distracted.
I like how it's kept you both focused and distracted.
It kept me distracted.
Both
from
are
cancer.
like totally legit. Yeah. Exactly. Both are totally legit, but it's kept you both focused and distracted.
Yeah, it's been nice. But I've had my days where I like wanted to crawl into a hole and said, I have fucking cancer, leave me alone. I mean, I had plenty of those days. But for the most part, I try to stay positive. If you just
you didn't sit in your hole for long.
Yeah. I came out of my hole and I went back to work.
Yeah. Well, Crystal, this is awesome. And I know how hard that you have worked to get like through everything that you've been through. And I know, I feel like you have not just had a tough road, you have had like the hardest road where it's like roadblock, detour, road closed, go find another way, like just find another way, like go through the woods, and so it's like you've like fought through all of that and still came out on top.
Yeah. I mean, that's been for sure. And it's also kind of makes me aware of so many surgical complications. Like we say complication, but there are so many different types of freaking complications that can like just detour everything. And I've had quite a few of those. But yeah, I mean, you can swim through the flood, you can climb through the woods, you can, you can get to the other side one way or another.
Yes.
So Lacey, I know we've been blabbering about me this entire time. So how have you been?
Oh, stop.
I haven't talked to you in like forever. I mean, other than our texts and whatnot.
Yeah. So I feel like I have nothing interesting to contribute, really. I mean, I feel like life is just life. Our kids are now 5, 3, and 1, and just kind of like we're getting out of the baby stage, and now I'm starting to like get rid of baby stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, this feels like good and not good at the same time. Like, I don't feel like I need to keep it, which is good. And also like, I've kind of like gone through like a little bit of grieving of like the end of that point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like I'm okay with getting rid of all of my baby stuff and being like, we're just not at that point anymore.
It gets so much easier. It's sad. I look back and see these pictures and hear videos when they have that sweet little voice that just the sweetest voice in the world. But it gets so much easier, and parenting, it changes, and it's kind of more fun. I don't know. All the stages are good. I hear, except for teenagers. So I do not look forward to that.
Yeah. So we're just getting into kindergarten with my oldest. Yeah, I just went like back to school shopping, and I called it back to school shopping. And my very literal child was like, why is it back to school shopping? I've never been to school. And so I was like, that's just what the stores call it. That's just the name on the sign for the store. You're going to school. You're fine. But I was that like total, like first time mom, like first time mom all over again. Like, I saw these people with these lists, and I was like, where did you get your list? I haven't gotten a list yet. And they like pointed to the like little like display thing, and they were like, there's all of the school lists right over there. I was like, oh, thank you.
So I don't know if your school offers this, but mine, the PTO does school supplies. Like, for each grade, whatever the requirement is, they like get all the supplies, put it in a box, and you can just buy it from them.
Really? So I don't even know if we have a PTO. I maybe they do. We're like so new into this, and I feel like COVID's really like our like meet and greet for kindergarten was on Zoom. Oh. So that's not really like there's not that much information there, and so I feel like there's so much, like there's going to be a huge learning curve as we like enter the school district and like start experiencing like the school district. But one of the cool things that we're doing, we started this last summer, and now we're actually making some progress, is we've decided to go to every Minnesota state park, and there's 75 of them.
Wow.
And we did like in our state alone. Yeah. Oh. And so we went to 9 or 10 last year. And now we've done, I can't remember, 9 or 10 this year. So we're up to 18 that we've done. We started counting once we had like our whole family, all 3 children. And it's been really cool. We've gotten to check out some like different points. And like, I've really enjoyed figuring out like why the different state parks are there. Some of them, it's very obvious. It's like, there's a beautiful waterfall, or this is on the shore of Lake Superior, or like, there's this beautiful spot. But some of them, it's, related to, we've got some terribly sad Native American history in our area. And some of them are related to that, which like is important for us to teach our children about that history, and even the hard stuff, especially the hard stuff. Then it's also like, there's some of them that are there because basically they're like, they were Depression era Conservation Corps buildings that were put up. So like the government just like was handing out money to create jobs. And so it was like, let's put a state park here. Let's put a state park here. And the local citizens would petition to have a state park in their area. And so they would find like a little pond or something in some of these spots. Like, some of them don't have a lot of natural things that are like, oh, this is a great place to visit. But so it's just like interesting to see like our history and like see that Depression era history like throughout our state, and how it's like, and then like those tend to be like the biggest, like strongest, sturdiest buildings because they were built with like rocks and whatever material they could find at the site. So it's actually really cool to like learn why the state parks are there too.
Well, that's fun. And yeah, you got a new camper, right? So how's that working out?
We did. It's working really well. And we have been able to use it.
Does it have a bathroom?
It does. Oh, it does. So our other one didn't. And so we had just like the little like portable like box one you could take with. But now we have like an actual bathroom in there, which has been great because our baby, like she's had so many showers in that bathroom because she's like blown out so many diapers in our camper that we even did this. It was so bad, but you guys will get a kick out of it. So we were driving down the road and pulling our camper. And we were like, oh, the baby Cora pooped. Like the whole truck, my son in the back was like, it smells in here. And it's like, yeah, she pooped. We need to stop. So we stop at this like gas station and my husband fills up with gas. And I just like unlock the camper door. I take her in there and I'm like hosing her off in a like gas station parking lot. And because it was like head to toe, like just this huge blowout. And so I was like, I'm so glad we have our own bathroom that we drag behind us, because then I can just hose this child off, get her a new outfit and just put her back in her car seat. And we had like towels and like, we actually keep the like chucks and stuff in our car now because we've had so many of these over the years. We just keep the chucks. So we just put it like her in like with the chucks behind her in the car seat and make it work. But my goodness, it was like, yeah, we had our own like bathroom that we just drug behind us and we just like hosed our child off in the middle of a gas station parking lot.
Well, that's nice. They don't have to go inside a disgusting gas station bathroom, you know.
Exactly.
Like, her in the sink.
Yes. Oh my God, that would have been terrible. So, yeah, we've really enjoyed camping and getting out this summer, and lots of people have enjoyed camping. So it's sometimes hard to find campsites, but it's been a great thing for us to do with our kids and kind of gives us something to like look forward to and kind of like check things off over the years. Like, oh yeah, we're going to go here and we're going to go here, and kind of plan like different camping trips where we can check off a bunch of state parks. So I like that we can do that and kind of explore. It gives us a reason to explore the like not so like, touristy destinations of our state.
Yeah, I love that. And it keeps you really busy during the summer, and they're going to remember this forever. I mean, these are going to be really good memories you're making with your family. But yeah, so what's new with Ellen? I haven't really gotten to talk to her lately either.
So Ellen still on maternity leave, which is amazing. Like the state of New Jersey has this like amazing maternity leave policy. I don't even know how this works, but she can explain what she gets. But she got some time like from like this like state mandate of like, she got some time before she had her baby. And then she gets more than just the 12 weeks afterwards. So that's great. And we're really excited for Ellen and our CRNA moms in New Jersey because they get some super cool benefits. Everybody should do that.
Wow, that's amazing.
But I know she's building her house. And I remember her talking earlier this spring that she was hoping to be moving into her house around the time that she had her baby. Well, she had her baby back towards the end of May, and she's still not in her house. I know that they've run into a lot of COVID related issues in getting supplies. And so it's just like pushed everything back. So she's still living with her in-laws. We pray for Ellen and her in-laws.
Well, it's beautiful. I see, the updates on her stories.
Oh, I know.
I mean, that it is fabulous. That is a beautiful home.
We are going to have a Scrub Caps and Sippy Cups party there one day and check out her new house.
Yes, it's so beautiful. Yeah, so we just kind of wanted to update everybody on what's going on with me. I'm doing well. I should be back regularly now, to normal episodes. Because I missed some good ones. I missed the doctor nurse one. And what was the other one I missed?
The pelvic floor one.
No, I was there for that one.
Oh, you were there for that one. Which one did you miss?
I missed two, I thought.
I think you did. I don't even remember.
Or maybe the doc where she interviewed you and then.
Oh, yeah. And so the doctor nurse one was a really interesting conversation. It's really like it turned into like a 2-part episode where like one episode was on our podcast and the other episode is on her podcast. And so it was like, because I think we recorded ours first, then we went over and recorded hers. And it was like our conversation just continued. And so if you haven't gone to the Dr. Nurse podcast and listened to the second half of that conversation, definitely do it. I really enjoyed talking to her and learning about her platform and all that she's doing. And yeah, I thought that was just a really fun conversation that just like lasted for about 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, it literally was like part 1 was on our show and part 2 was on her show.
Yeah, that would be cute, I think, if we did 2 parts. Okay, well, that's our update for today. We will be back again in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, you guys can follow us on social. We are on Instagram at Hey Smart Mamas. We are on Facebook at Scrub Caps and Sippy Cups. We are each individual on social if you want to follow us as well. I am at STL_injector on Instagram and just my name on Facebook. And Lacey is
at Ms. Lacey Lee on Instagram and Lacey Lee on Facebook. And then Ellen is at Ellen Laletta on both Instagram and Facebook. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Oh, and if you can hop over and leave us a review, 5 stars, we would really appreciate. It helps us move up in the ranks, and then maybe we can get some help with paying for these podcast episodes one day.